welcome to Pandora's Box. Today I'm going to do a set review for Strixhaven School of Mages. That's the newest expansion from Magic the Gathering. It is made by Wizards of the Coast. I'm going to review the English set. So for the set boxes which I've opened, each box comes with 30 packs and each pack comes with 12 cards. And for the collector's boxes that I opened, each collector box comes in packs of 12 and each pack contains 20 cards. The total set size for this set is 1,241 cards. This was released in April 2021 and the particular set that I reviewed is actually made in Japan and US. Today's review will be graded based on my patented Virgin system. So the V in Virgin stands for Vision. So when we're talking about vision, we're talking about the concept. So the name School of Mages actually speaks for itself. It's actually quite amazing. After 25 years of Magic, and it's the first time that the company is doing a Magic school, sort of like Hogwarts for Harry Potter. And the cards are actually built around 5 different dual color schools. And there's also Mystical Archives, which are like spells from the spell library. The theme for this set looks and feels like Harry Potter. So the 5 schools are like the Slytherin, Hufflepuff, all the Harry Potter schools, the 4 Harry Potter schools. But it does not really 100% feel like Harry Potter. It still feels very, very Magic. In terms of lore, it is very cliche and the story is very, very one-dimensional. It's always about those like evil villains wanting to take over the world. I mean, it is good that there's effort put into the lore here, but this does not really take advantage of the setup of a school. I mean, if this is a school, why you want to talk about taking over the world, taking over the plane? You can talk about exams, you can talk about what? Sports scholarships and all these things. Why do we have to keep talking about taking over the world? So in terms of, but I'm still going to give it a positive, okay? Because at least there's the lore there, right? At least there's lots of effort put inside, right, to come up with a story like this. In terms of intention for this set, right, it adds a new flavor to Magic. Of course, ultimately, it is to sell cards for Magic. It's to make money for Magic, it's to sell cards. And to do this, right, they actually have a big Mystical Archives, which is a big library of chase cards, which is amazing. Okay, the Mystical Archives are amazing. Okay, in terms of the scale, this is the size of a standard Magic set, which is already pretty big. And this is a standard Magic set plus Mystical Archives English and Mystical Archives Japanese. So this makes it really big in general. In terms of imagination, the school itself is cool, but the Mystical Archives, right, this is on a whole other level, I tell you. I did not think that this was even possible, okay? This is not a like typical run-of-the-mill kind of collab or reprint. The Mystical Archives, right, is completely original, it's completely beautiful, and it is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in TCGs. The next criteria is I for illustration. When we talk about illustration, we're going to talk about the artwork. So in terms of artwork here, the Mystical Archives pushes all the boundaries of what I thought was even possible for TCGs. I have no words, right, to describe how amazingly beautiful the cards are, especially the Japanese alternate art ones. In terms of colors, they are used perfectly. Okay, so the standard set still suffers from the common problem where like red is all very red, black is very black, But in terms of the Mystical Archives, right, I've never seen color used so expertly before. So it is, wow, completely amazing. In terms of flavor, the standard set is still very Magic, still feels like Magic, but the dual color schools themselves, like, feels distinct enough, right, to feel different from a standard Magic set. But the most important thing that I want to talk about is the Mystical Archives, which introduced me to a new subset of Japanese art, right, that I've never experienced before. It's like I've completely immersed myself in Japanese culture through the Mystical Archives. Amazing. And in terms of coherency, everything here has a purpose, even the chase cards. So usually chase cards, right, are meant to sell products. But how Strixhaven, right, package the chase cards, right, as Mystical Archives, which are part of the forbidden spells inside the school's library, which is, I think it's really thoughtful, and it sort of like round everything together, which makes everything very coherent, which I think is really good. The next criteria I want to talk about is R for realization. When we talk about realization, we want to talk about card quality. The card quality here feels much better than Commander Legends. The edge foils are much brighter, and I mean there's still a little bit of foiling. I think at this stage I don't think that can be avoided. But otherwise, card quality is really good. In terms of flavor text, the flavor text and the story cards right actually combine right to bring the whole lore, the backstory and the setup for this Strixhaven set, right? This new plane Arcavios, right, to life. So flavor text wise is a big plus as well. In terms of effort, I feel that Wizards always put in effort for whatever sets they have. Even those reprint sets like Time Spiral Remastered, they all put in effort. But they really nailed it this time, right? With the Mystical Archives, okay? They are already, I feel like they are already the benchmark in the industry. They are the leaders in the industry. And I feel like they are making the gap even wider. In terms of price, right? Strixhaven is priced almost the same as Zendikar Rising and Kaldheim. So generally, Magic products are pricier than the competitors. But I feel that this actually, it actually gives more value because the sets are usually much bigger. The art is usually better. So I think in terms of price, in terms of value, it is very good value. In terms of implementation, right, I think except for a minor scandal regarding some plagiarism with some, what's the name of the card? Cross of Fate, I think, was it Cross of Fate? No, not Cross of Fate. I can't remember what's the name of the card. Okay, so except for that minor scandal, everything else, implementation went rather smoothly. So that's really great as well. The G in Virgin stands for gamble or gacha. Kaching. In terms of the value distribution, so 90% of the value here, right, is in the Japanese alternate art. So the set boxes itself, right, does not have the Japanese alternate arts. So the set boxes itself, the EV, right, expected value is really low. The collector's boxes are okay, but the set boxes feels bad. So in terms of value distribution, I don't think it's really that much of a positive here. In terms of short-term value, the Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives are really strong. But I feel that anything outside those Mystical Archives, the Japanese Mystical Archives, anything outside is bulk. In terms of emotional impact, I feel that the Japanese Mystical Archives are super breathtaking, and it's not just a few cards. I think there's like 60 over cards, 60 over Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives. So there's still a nice number, right, for you to chase, for you to collect, which I think is really good. And in terms of excitement, the set boxes, the excitement for the set boxes was a little bit muted with no Japanese Mystical Archives here. But the collector boxes were really fun because there's a guaranteed chance, right, to get at least a couple Japanese alternate arts here. So the second I in Virgin stands for innovation. So in terms of gameplay, right, there's not a lot of power creep, which I think is good. And the lessons here are new mechanic, but I don't think this new mechanic is very strong. And the best thing, right, I think here, right, is that the color schools, the dual color schools, right, which give the color pairs, right, a new identity here. In terms of the product itself, of course, the Mystical Archives is complete genius. Okay, the Japanese Mystical Archive, right, is genius among genius. In terms of intellectual property, I think Rowan and Will, right, get a bit more character development. We get to see Liliana move on from the aftermath of the War of the Sparks. But I think other than that, that's pretty much it. In terms of peripherals, the whole Commander 2021, right, the 5 Commander decks of Commander 2021 is based on Strixhaven. And within Strixhaven itself, there's the set boosters, draft boosters, collectors boosters, team boosters, pre-release bundles and everything. So in terms of peripherals, I think, yeah, it's pretty good as well. So the last criteria is N for novelty. In terms of significance, this is the first school-based set in Magic's 25 years. It is also the first time, right, we are visiting the plane that is Arcavios. So yeah, quite significant, I think. In terms of nostalgia, of course, Mystical Archives again. Mystical Archives brings back so many strong and iconic magic cards like Channel, Lightning Bolt, and Dark Ritual and give them completely new makeover. So, nostalgia, yes, it's definitely there. And in terms of iconicness, I think this set will be remembered for the amazing Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives. And I think, right, with the Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives, right, like the Japanese War of the Spark Planeswalkers, right, this set itself, right, is already legendary. This set is not just going to be legendary. I think this set is already legendary. It's already iconic. And in terms of long-term value, the set itself, right, might not be very powerful, but I think, the cards itself, they're not very powerful, but I do think that the set itself has tremendous long-term value solely based on the Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives. And originality, of course. We've got the original plain Archivios, we've got the Mystical Archives, we've got those new Japanese alternate arts. Originality is full marks here. After analyzing this set according to my patented virgin criteria, it is time to review my final grade for this product. But before I do that, please remember to like and subscribe to Pandora's Box and turn on the notification button. I post new videos daily, so please remember to check back for more content like this. I'm going to give Strixhaven 5 stars! Okay, yes, this is the highest possible rating, and even though there's still one big obvious flaw with Strixhaven, with that being the value distribution. All the financial value in Strixhaven is concentrated in the Japanese alternate art Mystical Archives. Boxes that has no chance of pulling the Japanese Mystical Archives, right, can feel a little bit underwhelming. But everything else is a huge positive. Wizards hit a huge home run with the Japanese Mystical Archives. It checks all the boxes. They're all the chase cards. It's nostalgic. Okay, they've got great reprints, and it is different enough such that, right, even if you already own all those cards, you've got multiple copies of all those fireballs and channels and everything, right, you're still very much compelled, right, to collect all this due to the very beautiful, very different art that the Japanese alternate art that Wizards introduced here. Japanese pop culture is very pervasive. I consume a lot of Japanese pop culture like mangas and animes and games and movies. It's like Japanese pop culture, right, it seldom surprises me anymore. So the feeling of like seeing a Godzilla or Evangelion for the first time. Okay, of course, the Japanese Mystical Archives, right, is not quite at that level, but it deserves a lot of credit for opening my eyes, right, to something new. And this is why I give Strixhaven 5 stars. This is my review for Strixhaven. Do you think Strixhaven deserves 5 stars? Do let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel for more box openings, set reviews, top 10s, and content curated for nerds in general. See you in the next video. Bye bye!